All right, guys, time to get started. We'll go over quickly what we talked about last stream. If you go into Crypto Archive in the Discord, you'll see the quick recap that I had. We went over Bitcoin sentiment, Bitcoin dominance, sentiment for alts, what that means, why I wanted to focus on Bitcoin specifically, even though we had bought some alts. Ren was one of the alts we bought but had sold. So XRP and Polkadot were the two alts that we still have. And we'll talk about those at the end of the stream and additional buys that I actually have for one of these tokens. And then on June 9th, yes, 6/9/23, we took a Bitcoin short. I'm gonna go over that briefly here. Here's the short we took. Very simple short. We talked about this, multiple rejections on our 1 hour EMA. And we also had this beautiful trend line that was gonna get taken out. And we were able to enter before this even happened. I'm gonna highlight this by putting, if you see dollar signs anywhere, this is just gonna represent liquidity, right? Especially with this trade. We had obvious liquidity and obvious targeted lows. So what we did here is we just targeted the initial start of this 1 hour order block as our take profit. Took entry and didn't take too long. I think it took maybe 48 hours for this whole trade to play out. Even less than that, it took 14 hours. We weren't in the trade for that long. In and out, I think this was plus 2.6 R. So congrats on the short, worked out perfectly. But if you remember in the last stream, per my notes, the main point wasn't even to get into the short. We were just taking the short for a quick scalp. As I said, we're in the TP for the short right here will be our next zone to bid long. This is the long-term goal. I've been saying this for the last few weeks. Like, the long-term goal is to be positioned net long, right? That's the EV plus move. We've talked about this several times, why it's the EV plus move, more specifically because the EMAs on the daily and the weekly, we don't get this often. Like, this trade does not come often. You don't get this trade every week. As we said before, this trade has come in 85 days. So 85 days ago, nearly 3 months ago, we got the trade. And on the weekly, it's been even longer. The weekly's been nearly a whole year. So we haven't had the trade for an entire year on the weekly. Daily had 3 months ago. And before that, a month before that. And then as you can tell, even before that one, you almost a year again. So trade doesn't come often. And when it is coming near, you guys know that I will be screaming about the trade because it is exactly what we need to take advantage of. So short, boom, worked out perfectly. Now we need to talk about the long position that I sent you guys, which was on, let's go to the stream notes. Boom, or the long is working. Yes, I'm going to highlight exactly the trade that we sent so we can go over this in detail. Anyways, this is the exact play I sent you guys, right? I told you I'm only going to focus on Bitcoin longs for one specific reason. Bitcoin dominance was giving a breakout that not many expected, even me. I did not expect this breakout. We had the double, this is 2 weeks of weekly closures with very bearish events, right? The beginning of April and then mid-April, 2 extremely bearish weekly closes. I suspected that this is going to be a sell Bitcoin, get alts event as we have gotten the last 2 years. Ended up breaking out. This is the highest dominance has been since April, 2 years ago in April 2021. Right? So now that happened, I had to tell you guys that we're now switching the bias. Instead of focusing on those alts, we are now going to focus on Bitcoin because of this breakout, right? When Bitcoin dominance breaks out, it's going to outperform the entire market. And we'll go over this very briefly, right? Bitcoin is up 5% on the day. Let's pull up a random coin, like XRP. What is XRP up on the day right now? I think it might even be red. Yeah, XRP's daily is red. Like, what is Polkadot up on the day? It's red. It's not up on the day. Wait, give me another coin. Maybe BCH, right? Maybe BCH has a green. No, BCH, red, daily. Well, the daily did just open 2 hours ago. But as you can see, we changed over from focusing on alts to focusing on Bitcoin because of dominance, and it paid off perfectly. As you can see, Bitcoin is outperforming every single alt right now. Maybe not all alts. There are a few that I think are outperforming. Maybe some weird alts, yeah, like Jasmine, Ray, SFP. So random fucking alts, SXP. and even the bigger coins like Comp are barely outperforming right now. So smart move for us to actually go and focus on Bitcoin again, because dominance is now at nearly 3-year highs. So don't take this for granted. It means to focus on the majors, and it's especially to focus on Bitcoin because it's going to start outperforming. Most of the market cap in the crypto space is in Bitcoin. So specifically, there's more money flowing into it. That means there's more opportunities. Moving on from that, here's the exact play we gave you guys. I'm going to go over why we took certain zones and why we took certain stop losses, TPs, whatever. Anyways, we're going to remove these so we can clean up the chart slightly. All right, so there was 2 main things that we're looking at here. Actually, let's just remove the whole fucking thing and let's just rechart this. A few major things we're looking at for this long position. One, the obvious one, equal lows, right? You honestly probably could have just used the equal lows as your SFP, your swing failure pattern. You easily could have just said anything below this equal low is a bid, right? Go bid, and then just go into expansion into relevant highs, which would be right here. So, this is SMC concept. Equal lows get taken from, right here. And this is the exact same pattern we saw on the short. I mean, we could have taken a short position on this because it is identical to the previous one we took, right? Obvious bearish pattern, obvious bearish continuation. If we even do a ghost feed, watch this. Oh, hold on, this is the wrong one. Bar pattern, boom, to here. So this is what happened during the short. I mean, it looks nearly identical to what happened just now, right? So just repeating patterns here, exact repeating patterns. We had the advent of this equal low plus this beautiful trendline liquidity plus sitting underneath the 1-hour EMA, also sitting underneath the 4-hour. But we also wanted to somehow take advantage of the idea that we're sitting on the daily EMA. So let's try to find entry here on the daily EMA. This also came into hand with this fair value gap. As we can see, if we extend, boom, this fair value gap is also where we bid, right? So we didn't get the perfect entry on the bottom. I think this actually hit right below this. This is the low. So we didn't get perfect entry. We were red for a slight moment here, but not red enough to be worried about this trade. So this is what it looked like beforehand. Beforehand, we want to take the short. Obviously, we had the obvious bear flag pattern, right? Retail pattern here. Retail pattern added with equal lows, added with continuous bearish patterns, replicating the exact one under the 1-hour EMA. Plenty of opportunities here for us to understand that liquidity is going to get taken very soon and very aggressively. As you can see, this is an aggressive sell-off that we were able to take advantage of because our bids were right there. We bid into this dump, right? Exact level 25,000. I think it's 259. So let's put this back up. We bid it right here. So bid, we got the bid. Stops are right below. And we sat, I told you guys, hold on for dear life. We got filled, hold on, because this is the pattern we want. Daily EMA retest, weekly retest. We've taken out equal lows. We've taken, the bear flag pattern has worked out well. It's time to mark up. And within, 48 hours, maybe even less. Yeah, 48 hours, we're in profits, good profits, right now it's over like 5%. So plus 3R or almost plus 4R on this long. But I said something earlier today that I want to reiterate is I don't really want to take profits yet on this. I think taking profits on this might actually be disadvantageous. Those of you that may be full risk on, who have maybe taken a larger position than normal, maybe you can go ahead and trim some off of the top, but I think that there's a great opportunity for us to get a lot more out of this trade than just selling right now. And especially because we have the daily and weekly confluence and we don't get it that often, taking profits preemptively might hurt us more than it would benefit us here. So personally, that's what I want to reiterate. I'm not exactly taking profits really at all. Maybe stops to break even. It could be fine now, but I think a retest of this 1-hour EMA will be fine. There's plenty of fair value gaps for us to search for liquidity, to search for higher prices. And I think our final target that I listed here was even further. We're looking at near 26,850. We might even be extending this one. 850. Yes, which should be right here. Right above these two equal highs, it'd be kind of the exact same pattern that we took for these lows. Equal lows. As it breaks these, you bid long, and then the same thing with the equal highs. As it breaks these equal highs, right? You possibly even take a short scalp here. But long positions activated, and we are in it now, and we're in profits. Hold, because this was an aggressive move today. Aggressive moves create a lot of buyers who are left behind that want to get back in. So we have perfect entries. We probably won't see these entries again. We most likely will not see these lows again. I think we even got lower than this. So the lowest you might see again, maybe 25.9. Other than that, we might not see these lows again. So hold. I'm holding. I got to reiterate this because I don't know if this opportunity will come again. And we don't stream that often about these, but when we do, I kind of got to tell you guys because every time it's worked so far. Every time it's worked so far. So hold the longs. Next up, what do we have to talk about? Should we be worried about Bitcoin dominance? Should we be worried about this? Quite frankly, not too much, because we are now switching our bias to the idea that since we're having the 2-year breakout, let's now start bidding on Bitcoin a little bit more heavy than we would with alts. So that's why I'm taking a step back from alts. I am going to give you guys a buy position at the end of the stream on a coin we already have because it's perfect as well, and I don't want to miss that opportunity. So there is one alt that I'm going to be buying, but if we focus on the larger caps right now, I think we'll have a good time, and Bitcoin dominance will not be too much of an issue for us. One thing I should bring up as well is Bitcoin ETH relative chart. This is not the right chart. I forgot what they put it under. The ETH Bitcoin. Yeah, it's ETH Bitcoin. Okay, so this is just ETH Bitcoin relative performance to each other. So we've taken liquidity on this. It has been stagnant for quite some time. This literally just means that for the last, I don't know, two years, almost exactly 2 years, that Bitcoin and ETH have been performing relatively the same. Yeah, sure, there's been their moments where they've had exceptional moves past each other, but overall there's been no real breakout, and I think we potentially will have a breakdown soon, and we'll see probably, you know, a 13 to 15% variation in Bitcoin over ETH. So this is why I also want to focus on Bitcoin, and this is why I'm telling you guys to focus on Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin is going to start performing, and it already is outperforming Ethereum. If Bitcoin's outperforming Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance is hitting a 3-year high. Focus on this coin because this is where the opportunity is right now. It's moving relatively to the rest of the market, giving you better opportunities. What alts are we looking at? So 2 alts I'm looking at right now, and we've talked about these already, but XRP being one of them. Why? Well, it's giving us a very similar opportunity that we've had before. The daily EMA retest, and probably one of the larger volume shelves that we've seen on the daily. Massive volume shelf, daily EMA. I mean, not that we need too much more confluence, but you have daily fair value gap on one of the largest bullish moves that we had back in late May. The entire gap hasn't even been filled yet, but the entire gap, the majority of it's been filled. So this is like bid now territory, right? So this is one of the coins that I'm going to end up buying at the end of the stream, buying more of because we already have some XRP, and I'm especially bullish on it because it's holding over this daily, and hopefully soon we'll get some final breakout of this weekly because it's been the bane of its existence for the last 2 years now. And BNB, especially because there is a lot of black swan news going on with it right now. BNB probably has like FTX level of FUD going on, and again, this provides opportunities where if the company is not going bankrupt and it will survive, this is the opportunity you want, right? And we've seen this in the stock market several times with Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia, right? They come off their highs by 60%, still great companies, right? Still, or solid coins and solid tokenomics like BNB has. And as you can see, in 160 days rallies to its new all-time high. Which Apple is at? Same with Nvidia, right? I'm taking the exact same precaution with BNB because I've said this several times. It's a strong coin. There's nothing wrong with it, even though there's a lot of FUD. And you can see that this weekly candle, last week's weekly candle, was pretty disgusting, a minus 23% in its baseline equity. Pretty disgusting, but that's from the FUD. That's from the SEC trying to sue Binance US, saying that they are not registered to sell securities. They fight saying they're not selling securities. Blase, blase. Doesn't matter. The coin's still holding up at a decent range over a period of 850 days. So this is a coin I want to own because it holds up this well. It's reputable, has a great reputation behind it. Solid tokenomics. BNB does things that no other coins do right now. So BNB will be the next buy. I'm not sure I'm going to buy it right now. To be fair, I do want to wait for a few more daily closes because unfortunately, I think we plotted equal lows, which I want to get taken first because if you remember with Bitcoin, waited for the equal lows, got the raid, buy the raid. Most likely do the same thing with BNB, wait for the raid, and then we buy the raid, right? This is the swing failure pattern. Let's just wait for it, and then we'll take it to highs. So that will be the goal of BNB. It's not exactly a buy immediately, it's wait for the raid, and then we buy. No raid, no buy. XRP doesn't need that. XRP is sitting on its daily. I think I'll be market buying another 30% at the end of the stream. Okay, last thing, anything new with ES or the S&P 500? Yes, actually a big day. A big day today happened. So I will say the big thing that did happen was actually on NASDAQ. And this is what I was, if you're in the stock portion of our Playbit Discord, there was a certain level that we were waiting for, 370.66 cents, 371.66. Want this to break, right? This is the same thing. Let's break this high, or this is a strong high that pretty much developed this entire bearish trend that sent us down into this lengthy bear market for nearly an entire year. And now we're breaking it. What happens when these strong highs get broken? Well, trend definitely reverses, but at the same time, when we raid this, the short position starts. So we've had a beautiful move for the last 100 days, right? 25% baseline equity on one of the largest indexes in the world. A short position does come into hand here, where we can find potentially, this would be a wide stop. I don't think I'd be using this. I think I'd be using something right above here. 3% target lows. Something like this is what we're going to look for. And I will be buying this on Monday. If Monday's not a holiday. But we'll be looking to go short on NASDAQ, looking to go short on ES. ES isn't quite there yet. ES has ES is almost there. Almost. You still have maybe about 1% left. But let ES take these highs. You can already see I have the SFP formation here. And then we go short on ES. So that's what's new with NASDAQ at least. NASDAQ has broke its high, and we'll go short on NASDAQ before we go short on ES. So shorting NAS, long swing position to be open soon. This is fine that we're going short on indices while we're long on Bitcoin because they do have an inverse correlation at the moment. And that's everything. Have a beautiful long in profits currently on Bitcoin. ETH is underperforming to Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance breaking out to new highs. Please focus on the majors. There's a reason that Bitcoin dominance is a thing. Use it to your advantage. And XRP, market buy at the next 30%. I'll be posting the recap with this in there. BNB, the next all for us to buy. Wait for the raid. There's equal lows. You can't miss it. They're on the chart right now. You can see on the daily. Wait for the equal lows to raid, and then we can buy. And that's everything. I don't think there's anything else for us to go through. I even talked about it on June 9th, that BNB was the next all I'm looking to buy. It's the next one we're looking to buy. So get the raid, then we have our buys. And that's everything. If you guys have any questions, drop them right now. Otherwise, I'm going to hop out of here and post this all on YouTube. Happy Friday. Have a great rest of your night.